Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7 Episode 9 Old Friends Not Forgotten has finally released on Disney+. After seeing the awesome new Bad Batch clone troopers of Squad 99 and Ahsoka's journey away from the Jedi Order, we have finally arrived at the Siege of Mandalore. Today's episode was longer than the usual runtime, being 26 minutes instead of the usual 20, which is absolutely fantastic. I can't get enough of the Clone Wars. So before we dive into every detail of the episode, remember to hit the subscribe button to be notified every time I release a recap and explainer of every single Clone Wars Season 7 episode. The episode began with a very different introduction to last time, with the traditional Lucasfilm logo flashing and then the traditional Star Wars opening theme from the films being played as the introduction. I honestly could not contain my excitement when that music began playing. You just know this whole arc is going to be incredible after that. As the opening introduction is playing, we are shown all of the Jedi from Revenge of the Sith fighting battles on the planets that they will eventually be killed on in Order 66. We are also shown General Grievous, who is in the preparation for his kidnapping of Chancellor Palpatine. The proper episode then begins on the distant planet of Urbana, with General Kenobi's 2/12 engaged in a fierce firefight with the Separatist forces. The whole opening sequence is incredibly action-packed and shows the loss of many of Commander Cody and Kenobi's clones. The Separatists then fire a huge blaster shot at Kenobi, but in an amazing show of strength, he is able to swiftly block it and protect his clones. As Kenobi and Commander Cody are forced to take cover from the incoming fire, Anakin appears, very confidently telling Kenobi that there is nothing to be worried about. He even says there are only 1,000 droids. In a really funny line, Anakin also tells Kenobi that he has already finished his battle, so he's decided to come and help out on the other front. Great stuff between these two right here. They're really demonstrating their brotherhood before Revenge of the Sith. In a very brave act that fits with Anakin's character perfectly, he stares down the entire droid army and begins walking towards them unarmed. The droid army then aims all of their weaponry at Anakin, but are stopped by Anakin before they can fire. He pretends that the Republic are surrendering while secretly dispatching Rex, R2 and the 501st to destroy the droid forces while they have ceased their fire. This scene is absolutely wonderful, both for using the traditional Star Wars themes from the film and also showing the stark difference in how Obi-Wan and Anakin conduct themselves in battle. More incredible stuff right there. After Anakin and Rex's men are able to disable a large amount of the droid forces, Obi-Wan sends in the 2/12 to back them up and continue the battle. Anakin and Kenobi are then pulled away by Admiral Yularen, who reports that they are receiving a transmission on an open frequency from someone with the codename Fulcrum. If you've watched Star Wars Rebels, you'll know the incredible significance of this codename, with both Ahsoka and Agent Kallus using it to deliver information to the Rebel Alliance in the time of the Empire. This scene also confirms that the name Fulcrum has been in use since the Clone Wars and was even used by Saw Gerrera and his rebel fighters on Onderon. Ahsoka probably created the codename while she was helping Saw Gerrera's rebels fight the Separatists on Onderon. What an amazing callback to Rebels with this name drop. They're really pulling all the stops out. Admiral Yularen then suggests that Anakin and Obi-Wan return to the ship to take the transmission, as it is of great importance. At this point, we get the reunion scene that we've all been waiting for. Ahsoka greets Anakin through the hologram after so many years away from the Jedi Order. Anakin is shocked to see his old apprentice and wants to know everything that she has done in her time away. Unfortunately, they don't have time to catch up, as Ahsoka reports that she and Bo-Katan have located Maul on Mandalore. Ahsoka then requests that the two Jedi Masters visit them immediately. Anakin is extremely excited to see his old apprentice again, believing that this was always the way things were meant to be, because it would allow them to capture Maul, but is then disappointed that Obi-Wan is showing cautious optimism. As Ahsoka arrives on the Mandalorian ship to visit Anakin and Obi-Wan, we are about to get a very touching reunion with Anakin and Ahsoka, but Bo-Katan and the Mandalorians make it very clear that there is no time for that. It actually killed me to see this, so heartbreaking to see, honestly. In the command center, Ahsoka reveals that Bo-Katan had been tracking Maul for several months, and that Ahsoka herself was able to find transmission codes from the Pikes on Obadiah, which we saw in the last episode. Anakin was of course worried about the safety of Ahsoka, questioning why she had been to Obadiah. Again, Ahsoka gives a cold response to Anakin, urging them to continue with the mission. Bo-Katan then confirms that Maul is now located in the Mandalorian capital city, Sundari, having only arrived 2 days prior. She then proposes that the Republic and the Night Owl fighters begin a siege on Mandalore so that Maul can no longer escape. Obi-Wan warns Bo-Katan that this action will break many treaties, but they reluctantly agree to inform the Jedi Council about the situation. Bo-Katan then angrily tells Obi-Wan that he obviously didn't care about Satine if he's not willing to help, but he quickly retorts that he still holds a deep care for her, but will not let his feelings cloud his judgment. The camera then pans to Anakin, who we obviously know does let his feelings cloud his judgment for Padme in Revenge of the Sith. Bo-Katan then storms off after Obi-Wan cannot offer immediate help, leaving Anakin and Ahsoka together. The two then walk out of the command center with clone troopers across the hallway saluting Ahsoka for her brave service in the Republic military. Ahsoka doesn't believe that they should be saluting her anymore as she is no longer part of the Order, but Anakin makes it clear to her that it does not matter to them. Anakin then brings Ahsoka into the troop barracks, where Rex is standing ready to greet them. This is another incredible scene with the clone troopers of the 332nd Company having painted each of their helmets with the facial markings and skin color of Ahsoka. Anakin then takes a box that Rex was holding and is about to give it to her before the sirens of the ship begin to go off, signaling an attack. I'll get into exactly what is in this box later in the video. This moment we get a tie-in that we've all been waiting for. News arrives to Obi-Wan that Coruscant is now under attack and that the Chancellor has been kidnapped. We also now learn that Shak-Ti has been sent to protect the Chancellor, but that contact has been lost with her. This is exactly the same thing that happens in the 2003 Clone Wars series. Ahsoka's disillusion with the Order is then brought to the surface again as she questions why the fleet must abandon Bo-Katan to help the Chancellor. Anakin then suggests that Ahsoka be sent to lead a new division of the 501st on Mandalore, but Obi-Wan reminds him that she is no longer a part of the Grand Army of the Republic. Because of this, Anakin promotes Rex to Commander and sends Ahsoka with him as an advisor. Absolutely incredible to see Rex promoted to Commander in this scene. This episode just keeps on giving. After that, Obi-Wan references his fight with Maul in The Phantom Menace, stating that he should be captured because he has already come back from the dead once before. We then get another amazing moment where Anakin hands over the box that Rex was holding previously, allowing Ahsoka to take her old lightsabers from before she left the Order. In the final moment that the two will ever see each other again before the duel in Rebels, Ahsoka wishes Anakin luck in rescuing the Chancellor. Wow is all I have to say to that. Wow. Next, Ahsoka and Rex's fleet is en route to Mandalore to begin the invasion when they receive a comlink transmission from Prime Minister Olmec. He is outraged at the invasion forces that are on their way, but Bo-Katan refuses to back down knowing that he is just a puppet of Maul. Prime Minister Olmec then readies Maul's Super Commando Mandalorians with Gar Saxon and Rook leading the fight. You may know of Gar Saxon from Star Wars Rebels and Rook from the Son of Dathomir comics. After this we get another huge callback to Rebels with Bo-Katan contacting Ursa Wren, who is acting as a spy on the surface of Mandalore. As Rex's forces enter the atmosphere of Mandalore, they are forced to quickly exit their ships, with Rex using a Mandalorian jetpack and Ahsoka simply jumping down. At this point we get some incredibly fluid fight scenes really showing off how good Ahsoka has truly become in lightsaber combat. Ahsoka faces down hordes of Maul's Super Commando troopers, leading the way for Bo-Katan's forces to begin their assault on the Royal Palace. Bo-Katan then rushes to the Royal Palace of Mandalore, leaving Ahsoka and Rex to find the location of Maul. The two are then called to investigate a sighting of Maul's top commander, Gar Saxon, by the new captain of the 501st, Captain Vaughn. The group then move into a tunnel as they continue their search for Gar Saxon. Following that, we cut back to the Royal Palace where Bo-Katan's forces burst through and took out many of Maul's top fighters. Bo-Katan then gets into a fistfight with Prime Minister Olmec, demanding to know the location of Maul. Olmec reveals that the path Ahsoka is taking is actually a trap set up by Maul to lure in Kenobi. Unfortunately for him, Ahsoka was sent in his place, ruining Maul's plan. Cutting back to the tunnels, Ahsoka is knocked to the ground by explosive charges, but quickly gets up and continues the fight in the tunnels. Then, to end the episode on a really massive cliffhanger, she is then surrounded once again by Maul's forces, but this time Maul himself comes out from the shadows to greet her. All I can say to this episode is wow. So many touching, heartbreaking and just incredible moments. This is only the first episode of The Siege too, so I'm sure we'll get plenty more as time goes on. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to hit the subscribe button to be notified as soon as I release a recap video every single time a Clone Wars episode drops. Thanks so much for watching. Cheers guys.